celebrating the contributions of African descendants in areas such as activism, racism, and capitalism remains a sore point for ICA. The organization believes that Black History Month, observed annually in February, does not receive the recognition it deserves. ICA President Aaron Alexander shares his perspective.
We must acknowledge the significant contribution made to humanity by leaders of African descent. We must not fail to tell and teach our children our story. Of recent times, the United Nations have declared a second decade for persons of African descent, which commences in January 2025 and will run until 2034. We are therefore calling on our Minister of Culture to declare what are the plans for St. Lucia for such an observance.
The United Nations has declared a second decade for the recognition of people of African descent, set to conclude in 2034. However, Alexander questions the impact of this initiative and urges stakeholders to take full advantage of the opportunity to uplift Black communities.
The first decade ran from 2015 to 2024, and what does St. Lucia have to show? We call on the government to play a greater role in empowering our people of African descent by making them landowners. We see in South Africa today where the government there has just passed the Land Expropriation Act, which will address the historical inequalities in land ownership stemming from slavery and colonial days.
Another pressing issue raised by Alexander is land distribution, which he argues has not been in favor of the Black community. He is calling for equitable access to resources, emphasizing that wealth should be shared among all citizens.
We have many rich families who are landowners due to their closeness at the time with the colonial masters. Many of those families never paid for those lands. Our ancestors got emancipation but still remain landless. These are some of the historical injustices we have to correct as a nation. These families who are holding so much land, and that's our land here in St. Lucia, must come to the table and offer some of those lands in good conscience to the government for redistribution to our people who are landless.
ICA is also advocating for the integration of Black history into the national school's curriculum. Alexander is urging the Ministry of Education to take action in ensuring the future generations remain connected to their roots.
For our part as ICA, we will continue through our Education Committee to advocate for justice for our people. We will continue to visit our schools and educate our children on various aspects of Black history as we have been doing, educating our children about the Berlin Conference and its effects from since 1884 on us up to this day.
To further these efforts, ICA's Education Committee will be visiting schools to engage students in discussions on reparations and cultural identity. For the DBS News World, Manasseh Stanislas reporting.